Hey guys, how's it going? This is Nick Landon, coming to you again, showing you another Squarehead mag modification, which I do to a MagFed marker. In this case, I have a Milsig MK3. To show you guys this modification, got a Squarehead mod right here, Squarehead magazine right here. Show you that it works, fits, pops in there just like the round collar ones do. It's not too tight or too loose or anything. Flip it over, and to show you guys that it feeds, I'll grab a Squarehead mag preloaded with some paintballs here and try and do this behind the camera. So there you go, get some light down there in the barrel so you can see the bolt. So when I put this in there, see the paintball just shot right up in there. Pulling the mag, doesn't come out. So you can see that orange paintball in there, that it does in fact work and feed. And I'll take that paintball out and also show you that it works with first strike. I only have one first strike round in here. I'm glad I saved it instead of shooting all of them the last game, but I've got one right here to show you that this works as well too. And there you go. So reading on a lot of Facebook group pages, on a lot of paintball forums, on websites and such, I read that a lot of people said that this modification absolutely couldn't be done. The Squarehead mod wouldn't work with the MK3 2 or 1 line of markers because there wasn't enough material in the receiver. I never read it personally myself, so I don't know if it's true, but a lot of people, the reasoning they mentioned that Nelson himself said that there wasn't enough material in the receiver, which to his credit, he's absolutely right. He knows his markers, his product line very well, and without adding material, this modification would not be possible. As you can see here, there's a piece of metal which I've added to the receiver to make this modification work. So a lot of people said that it couldn't. One of the reasons I want to make this video is show you that it absolutely can. Nelson was right, but just because there's not enough material in the marker itself doesn't mean there's not ways to add to it. Alright guys, so I've got the mag well off of the MK3 here, and the first thing I want to show you is the detail of this hole cut out in here. So I'll get this up close to the camera. Hopefully you can see some of the details. It's got some, as you can grab something to point with here. If you look down right in there, you can see this little step right there, so you can see how detailed the cutout is to allow for the Squarehead mag to fit in. That cutout right there is to help this section fit in, and gets narrow to fit in this section. There's a special section to help it catch the detent right there. So there's that right there. Now I want to show you how I fix the adding the more material issue. As you can see, I've got this metal piece that gets added right here. So when I first make the cutout, this is what the half of the marker would look like. Everyone was right about there not being enough material there to make it work as is. As you can see, putting it into the precision mill cuts out a little bit of the material on this side, but it's only on this side. For example, on this side, you see that there's no cutouts. The reason being that with this hopper cover there, the machine can cut into it, and this fills the space that would normally look like that. To make this catch the detent, as we know, the Squarehead mag uses a Tiberius Arms magazine style detent with this bar right here. In order for it to catch both sides, I'll show you how that works inside of this modification. So I'll get this hopper cover off here. So I've got the hopper cover off here, and as you can see, there's a slight cutout here. You can see the shadow on that edge. When I mill this little bit of this bit of material that goes into the side of the marker right there, that's where one side of the head of the Squarehead mag catches. So when you stick this in, one of these bars will catch onto that, and that's what helps it feed. So as far as the modification goes, on this side I don't have to do anything. As you can see, there's some of that cut out, but the hopper cover fills that all in, so I don't have to add material. It's only this side. The way which I came up with, which I felt was best to add material to this side of the marker body, is to add metal. There were various different options which I thought of. I could have put maybe some Bondo, epoxy-like stuff in there, and then machined it so you'd have the material already in there and I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I know that can be reliable and it's a very sturdy material, but I didn't trust it. I wanted actual metal. So what I did is in the body right here, as you can see, I machined out a tiny little groove, not all the way through, cut halfway down into there perfectly, using down to 10,000ths of an inch actually with the machine I have. And then I machined this little elbow piece, as you can hopefully see right there. It's a little bit of elbow that sticks in there. So what this does is, I'll just pop it in right here, is it sits in that groove, fills in that space. When you look at the mag well, it adds, hopefully you can see that, it adds the material needed right here in this section so that the magazine, the Squarehead mag release bar can catch. If I pop that out, you'll see if I put the mag well on here, I'll just hold that on just for demonstration purposes. If I were to stick this magazine in, you can see that the bar doesn't catch anything, and it's actually sitting about halfway down. It touches the metal up here, but not enough, and so your paint won't quite feed. And so that's how I add material to make that work, is just this elbow, and how this elbow right here, and how that fits in, and how it's held in is once placed in right there. And just pop that in right there. There we go. It sticks up slightly, as you can hopefully see right there. So when you put your magazine well on, I'll do right here, it puts a slight pressure on that. Not too much, you're not straining your mag well, but it does put a pressure on there, so that thing absolutely cannot move. So I'll stick my finger in here and try and push on it. You see it doesn't bend, it doesn't go anywhere. So that's how I add material and make this Squarehead mag mod work. When you send your MK3 into me to get it serviced, this is pretty much you'll need to send, minus the magazine, of course. I need the functional marker with all the stuff stripped off, so no stock, no tank or anything. You don't need to send me any magazines, no barrel, nor shroud, nor any sights. So I just need you to send me this so that I can modify it, do the modification I need to over here, and then have the internals and stuff to test fire it a couple times when I do. So before I forget, I want to point out and mention that the Squarehead mod, which works here with the MK3, is compatible with the MK2 and MK1. As far as I'm aware, the two receiver halves are identical on all three markers. I've performed this modification on MK2s and MK1s previously. I just hadn't made the video till now. So if you have an MK1, an MK2, or an MK3, this modification will work on it no matter what. So if you guys are interested in having me perform this modification for you, in order to get in contact with me, send an email to nighthawk9mods@hotmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Nick Landon. I'm Nighthawk9 on the X7 and A5 owners group forums, as well as PB Nation. So there's a lot of places you can go to get in contact with me, whichever one works out easiest for you. The price for this modification is $60 as compared to the $45 for the MKP line of markers, because it is much more extensive. I have to take more time with different cutouts in here versus one, and I also have to add material. So the price for this is $60, but it's still a very affordable option for those of you wanting to upgrade to Squarehead magazines without wanting to have to sell your marker and then pay the price for a new Milsig offering which uses the Squarehead mags. So thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. Again, if you're interested in having this modification done on your MK1, 2, or 3 marker, send me a message at Nighthawk9mods or find me on Facebook or the other groups I mentioned. Thanks.